What's popping, everybody? Welcome to Dark Corners. I'm your host Dark and back from a 3-week trip in Morocco. I just got off my flight like literally 2 minutes ago. The plane actually landed in my street and they let me go. So I thought we have to do another video. So now we're doing the hitchhiking horror stories animated. Before we start, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Dark Corners TV. Make sure you leave a like if you're enjoying this intro. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more intros, and let me know in the comment section what you like the most about this intro. Let's get right into it. Hitchhiking horror stories. Shout out Llama Arch, shout out Mr. Nightmare. You can check their channels out down below in the description.
3 months after I turned 16 in 2005, I got my first car.
Nice.
A 99 Toyota Camry.
I still gotta get my first car.
Saturday night, when my friend Alex invited me over to one of his friend's big parties, I knew I wouldn't be in a condition to drive the Camry home afterward. So we carpooled with Alex's girlfriend Brianna.
Smart.
We lived in the countryside of Virginia, meaning less big parties. Meaning when there was a big party,
West Virginia. Isn't that the song? Can you guys confirm? Hey, this looks different.
5 to 10 minutes away from this kid's house. I knew where he lived as I was acquainted with him, but not exactly friends.
This animation looks different than what I'm used to from Llama Art, but I like it. It's more detailed.
This kid's house was actually on this road further down. At certain points on this road, there were a few houses on either side, and then it would just go back to being a long, empty highway again. The house was tiny, like a lot of houses around the area, but the party was held outside anyways, since its closest neighbors were relatively far away, and noise wasn't an issue. I'll skip most of the party up until the point that Brianna, who was supposed to be our designated driver, had to suddenly leave for a small family emergency. Alex said it was fine and that we'd find a ride home. Well, fast forward another few hours and another few drinks, and I could barely even walk straight.
Yeah.
I checked my watch, and it was like 2 in the morning. I figured it was time to go. I started looking for Alex, but I couldn't find him anywhere.
You messed up, son.
In fact, it seemed like everybody I knew had already left. I could barely even think straight, but I was still furious at the fact that Alex could have actually left.
He's gonna hitchhike! That's why it's called Hitchhiking Horror Story.
I asked his phone and dialed Alex's home number.
Of course.
After 2 tries, I gave up and then realized I shouldn't wake his family up. So, literally not knowing what else to do, I dizzily stepped out onto the road and began walking back home.
I would never do that, to be honest.
Maybe after 15 minutes of walking down the road, the slight shine of car headlights on the road was fading in from behind me. Jumping for joy inside, I lifted up my arms. This episode
is really well animated.
As the car neared, it slowed down and came to a stop right next to me. The man driving the '98 Ford Explorer rolled down the window and asked where you headed. I told him my house was just down the road and beyond a right turn, probably slurring my words beyond comprehension. He chuckled and told me to hop in. I thanked him and joyously hopped into the truck.
Looks like a scuffed Clark Kent.
Completely disregarding things the guy was asking me because I was so close to just passing out. And that's what happened. The memories of being in that truck turned to a fog as I'm sure I passed out.
He didn't wake up home, did he? I have a feeling he didn't.
The next thing I remember, I woke up still in the moving truck. The guy looked at me and laughed, but didn't say anything. I looked around and realized the road we were on wasn't familiar. I nervously asked, where are we going? He then said, so what were you doing out this late anyway? As the man answered my very straightforward question with another irrelevant question, the sobering reality of the situation hit me. You can let me out anywhere, I told the man. The man responded with a firm no. I felt like throwing up as he said that. No, I really actually felt like I was going to throw up. I started to gag as I felt more and more nauseous.
He's gonna throw up on him, isn't he?
The man took his eyes off the road to look at me, and that's when I thought of the perfect distraction. I turned in his direction as I continued to gag, and he started to kind of lean away and slow down the car. Thankfully, I drank as much as I did because I finally threw up and made a point of doing it all over the man's lap. The man yelled in frustration and stopped the car, and that's when I took it upon myself to run for my life into the woods and duck behind a few bushes.
That's disgusting.
The man came following into the woods with a flashlight, and on 2 separate occasions, he shined the light straight over me without noticing. Eventually, I heard his footsteps walk even further into the woods past me. That was when I ran back to his truck, but unfortunately, he was smart enough to lock it. By some miracle, I saw another car approaching in the distance, and I ran out into the middle of the street, waving my arms.
Imagine if that's another murderous
The car tried to avoid me, but I wouldn't let it.
lurer.
They were forced to stop, and I yelled at them to help me before they came back. Once I told them that I was kidnapped by the man who was driving that Ford Explorer, the driver agreed to give me a lift. Not to the police station or anything, but to my house. I made it back safely, where I couldn't thank the driver enough. I immediately woke up my parents and told them. My dad wanted to know if I got his tag number, and then I felt like punching myself in the face. I failed to get the simplest information from the guy that would have allowed me to actually properly report him. All I knew was that he drove a faded blue 99 Ford Explorer. I made sure to give Alex a piece of my mind, and part of me always held a grudge against him ever since, just for abandoning me at a party without telling me. I haven't seen him in 4 years now, however,
Understandable.
and this was actually the first time I even thought about this incident for almost a year now. As time goes on, even the worst of memories may start to fade, but after writing this to share with the internet, it's once again fresh in my mind.
They're gonna be a jump scare. Okay, thank you for not putting a jump scare there, because I don't like jump scares. I think we have time for one more. Alright, so next up is the True Snowstorm Stories animated. Something is telling me in my gut that this is gonna be a story about someone in a snowstorm. Let's see if I'm right. Once again, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure you leave a like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you check out Llama Art's channel down below and miss a nightmare. Ethan, I'm a photographer.
I took a trip last year with my wife to the Colorado mountains for an art project.
Yeah?
My wife is also an avid skier, so
Really?
she talked me into adding skiing into the trip.
Wow.
We had the option to book a room
You're
at a
older
ski
than I
resort
thought.
or rent out a private log cabin. The second one seemed more romantic, so I picked that one. Plus, it didn't hurt that it was cheaper.
I would
The
have picked...
cabin was nothing luxurious.
Well, it's cheaper.
or
No, never
anything.
mind. I would
It
have
was a
picked Kevin as well.
single-floor, 4-room little thing. A 2-person bedroom, a small living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. It may have been small, but the actual idea of being secluded in a warm log cabin during a blizzard was amazing. However,
Understandable.
the storm was interfering with the cable signal, so we didn't have much to do this one particular evening. It was just starting to get dark out.
Just
at
play
this point,
Uno.
but there was still a decent amount of light outside, so I thought it would be perfect for getting a few shots and videos in the blizzard for backgrounds and wallpapers. I told my wife I'd be back within 10 minutes and slipped on my boots and coat.
Would
The
you
moment I
really
stepped outside
want to
and
do
shut
that
the
though?
door, I noticed footsteps leading up to the door in the snow that had blown under the wooden awning. I could see the prints doubled as whoever left them there turned and went the opposite direction. I was freaked the fuck out, but I wasn't about to go inside and scare
Hey,
my
you
wife.
don't have to swear.
I
I'm gonna
decided
forget
give
to
in my
bleep that out while I'm
curiosity and
editing.
followed the prints to the right
And
side of
someone's
the
gonna
cabin.
notice and say so in
Right
the
away,
comments.
I
And then I'm
noticed
gonna
that
feel
they led to
ashamed.
the bedroom window. My heart froze in fear when I saw this. I could see my wife sitting on the bed using her iPad. She noticed me and I waved. She laughed. I continued to follow the footprints around the cabin to the other side. They led to the living room window on
It's
the other
probably
side.
just the wind.
Someone was stalking us. But how long ago was the question? I found myself standing there for a good minute asking myself if I should follow the footprints anymore. For whatever reason, I decided I would. They were now leading away from the cabin. I knew I was following the prints to where this person was going, not coming from, simply by the boot marks.
Okay, why would you do
I followed
that?
the prints away from the opening and into the trees. That was where I saw him. A man wearing a black coat facing a tree, slouched down looking at the ground. He was still as a statue, and I could see the snow
Ew.
piling up on his hood and shoulders.
I think that's
I
a snow
froze in my
zombie.
tracks, trying not to make a sound. I would have thought to ask him if he needed help otherwise, but this guy was just standing there not doing anything, like some kind of deranged freak. I started to gradually move backwards without even turning around, making sure this man didn't turn around or notice me. When I got at a visual distance, I turned around and stomped through the snow back to the cabin. When I slammed the door shut, my wife came over to see what was wrong.
Oh boy.
I saw worry in her eyes. I guess she saw the worry in mine. She knew I saw something, and after a few minutes of harassment, I finally told her what I saw. She immediately started packing her things, telling me we're leaving right away.
Understandable,
No,
but there's a snowstorm.
I would not get a refund for leaving early. I wasn't about to up and leave just because some weird guy was walking around
He's
outside.
thinking about a refund.
She made a point of locking both locks on the door and making sure all of the windows were sealed shut. For the rest of the night, we read stuff on our iPads. I reviewed the pictures and videos I had taken so far.
That's
We
not an
turned out the lights
iPad.
early, as there
She
wasn't
has a
much else to
phone.
do.
Don't lie to me, bro. I know
What
what
if
an
he's still
iPad
out
looks
there?
like.
I remember my wife asking me. There's no way.
To be honest, I would not be
I
able to
can
sleep
assure
either.
you. Listening to the wind blowing outside, along with the small flakes of snow hitting
That
the
feels good.
windows,
Oh,
was
I'm gonna sit into
strangely
my blanket.
relaxing.
You
And I
guys,
knew I'd be able to fall asleep quickly.
just a fun fact, I like to point this out. Do I look tired? Well, maybe I am, because it is right now almost 5 a.m. You see this video? I'm gonna be uploading this video in about an hour. Then I'm gonna go to bed. So by the time you guys are watching this video, I've probably been in bed for like 5 minutes.
Except if it wasn't for the knock at the bedroom window.
Yeah?
We were both still awake, and we both knew it was a knock from a person. I ushered my wife out
I mean,
of bed. and
I
out
don't
into the
think
living room
dogs
without
can
turning
knock on a
any
door,
lights.
so that this
There was nothing to use as a weapon.
obviously it's the
whatsoever.
knock of a
Our
person.
only option was to run before something might happen.
Bro, you can
I
use
told
the
my wife we'd have to forget our luggage and make a dash for the Jeep. We slipped on our boots and coats in the dark in a matter of seconds, and when we heard a knock at the living room window from the opposite side of our car, we took that opportunity to run. I pressed the unlock button, so grateful I chose to have remote locks on my Wrangler, and we hopped in.
Wrangler. Why are you
The car
flexing?
started with ease, and as soon as the headlights flashed on, the man was standing facing the log cabin on our side now.
Oh, what was that? Oh, that was my phone. It
Just
scared me.
facing the wall of the cabin
My
in the
phone
same
just
position I had seen him in
my
earlier,
phone buzzed and
as
I got
if he were
scared.
hiding his face. We drove to the nearby ski resort without much trouble in the Jeep. We stayed there for the night and went
Okay.
back the next day to the log cabin to collect our things we left behind.
They weren't
It
scared?
wasn't there.
Well, that was kind of an anticlimactic ending, if I do say so myself. Today had a nice atmosphere. Well, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. If you did, once again, make sure you leave a like. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. It's free. And make sure to follow me on Instagram at DarkCornersTV. Also free. Let me know in the comment section what I should react to next. Also free. And check out the merch. Link should be in the description. Not free, but if you're lucky, you might get free shipping if you live in the US. Check it out. Once again, everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I cannot say that enough, so I'm gonna keep saying it until you guys tell me to stop. And then I'm gonna continue saying it. I think by now the video is probably longer than 10 minutes, so that means I can actually end it. I'm just kidding. I'm being ironic, guys, but I'm also like 25% not being ironic. Hope to see you all next time. Dark, signing out.